Sly Cooper's pretty good. It's just me? Oh, okay. I get it though. You probably look at this and make one or two or three kinds of assumptions, but trust me, it's better than you think. This is an excellent series with a lot of great qualities, the not least of which being the strength of its storytelling. There's been a lot of discussion around the relationship between story and gameplay, how to intertwine the two, the value of the written word applied or the context offered by the design, whether or not a narrative elevates the use of a mechanic or treats the gameplay as an afterthought in favour of some hack fraud's repurposed film pitch and pumped up cutscenes. Who wants to make games when you could just make movies, the real art?
It's not a game script. It's a script.
It's a legitimate talking point, and I never hear people mention the Sly trilogy when it comes up. It needs to. This is the dark horse of mascot franchises, one that tells a story throughout all aspects of its design, and tells it well. It's got a lot to teach us about creating a character-driven game with lasting appeal, and nobody believes me because he looked like this. So, I figured the best way to show you what I mean was to go in-depth with a trilogy retrospective series. All 3 games will be spoilt, but I'm hoping, if you've never played them, you'll want to check it all out after this video. Eventually, I'll also do a discussion on Sanzaru's effort, who incidentally made the half-botched HD port you'll see here. I apologise for that in advance, but it's alright, they set a fitting precedence in the end. Guess what I must think about Sly 4?
Shrimp cocktail!
Anyway, let's get to it. We'll be detailing the storytelling techniques used in each title, from the structure and visuals to the specifics of the dialogue, from the rooftops of Paris to the illustrious Cooper Vault. It all starts with the humble beginnings of our hero in his very first game, Sly Raccoon. Sly Raccoon, or Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, depending on your region, is not an obviously successful game. On the surface it seems like a cliché-ridden platformer, and it didn't exactly set the world alight in 2002. It is, however, discreetly well articulated in a number of areas, promoting the talents of a very promising team of developers. Sucker Punch Productions were a pretty unassuming company back in the day. Their first game, Rocket Robot on Wheels for the N64, had been met with modest success and allowed them to get to grips with the business. At some point they hit a deal with Sony to exclusively publish their newest venture, Sly Cooper, which was released around the same time as when the 3D platformer had begun to hit a saturation point in the ideas department, give or take a few years. Lessons had been learnt on Rocket, most importantly how much they wanted to focus on character-driven action games with the same polish as other big names on the market. This started with them re-exploring what it meant to create a franchise. Rocket didn't have that much going for him. It wasn't incredibly clear what he did or what he was, that's why it's in the title, because you couldn't tell otherwise, and the theme park land he inhabited was more of an experiment in gameplay styles than a concrete concept. Wanting a new idea, the devs looked to the things that they were already passionate about for inspiration. Full details are sketchy, but I've seen interviews and commentary citing a couple of references we can definitely point to in shaping the project. There was certainly a mutual interest in the Batman animated series, something grounded and classical with a tongue-in-cheek cartoonish flair, and some of the artists on the team had comic book industry backgrounds. This began to move the initial concepts away from Rocket's rounded goofiness to a bolder, angular style, and after a couple of experiments in this vein, they finally found themselves a character. Sly's design is super readable and allows for a lot of extreme physical expression. One look tells you all you need to know about him, helped by the natural association with real-life raccoons and their thieving habits. Got it. I think it also helps set him apart from the other platforming mascots of the time. Most are light-hearted or wacky, but Sly is coloured by his profession as a thief. It suggests a cheeky anti-hero who would need to quietly stick to the shadows, and you would hope that was reflected in the experience of the game. As it happens, Sucker Punch were very concerned with making sure the player felt this was justified, and worked hard to make that stick. The setup is straightforward. A prologue section starts in the middle of Sly's mission to rob police headquarters of some evidence, walking you through some thiefy tutorials past basic defences. I think the use of Paris tips the player off to the tonality of this game. Little bit flirtatious, little bit sophisticated, little bit Le Pew. Things go smoothly until you're introduced to the law for a bit of banter.
You foolish raccoon! I've caught you red-handed.
Ah, Carmelita. I haven't seen you since I gave you the slip in Bombay.
Once that's done, you have to book it back to the getaway car and escape, rounding out the player's first-hand demonstration of the character's routine actions and relationships. With that out of the way, we can now dive into the motivations behind them, played out in a super stylized, half-animated 2D cutscene.
Once again, my gang and I had given Inspector Carmelita Fox the slip. I was surprised to see how well she took it.
Sly comes from a long line of master thieves, their legacy contained inside of a book that details their secrets and techniques. Their code of honor is very Robin Hood-esque, stealing mostly from master criminals in order to prove themselves as master thieves. When Sly was young, 5 such criminals took their revenge by murdering his parents and stealing the book. The orphan Sly grows up to follow in his father's footsteps with the intention to avenge his death and retrieve his legacy. Along for the ride are his childhood friends from the orphanage, now also thieves. These are Bentley, the worrisome tech geek, and Murray, the cowardly wheelman, and all have to run from top Interpol officer Inspector Carmelita Montoya Fox. It's a decent intro, quickly initiating the player with a couple of pressing conflicts to keep your characters on the move, and this includes some nice, unexpected flourishes. My ears prick up at Carmelita's noticeable heritage, or at the way that Sly builds into his backstory. There is something distinct about this whole presentation, and that's worth thinking on as we move forward, especially as, when we start, there's not a lot to get too excited about.
You have to get close.
Then hit the circle button to grab it. Yeah. Relax, Bentley. I live for this stuff.
Yeah, and that's what worries me.
It has all the predictable hallmarks of 3D platformers: collectibles, special moves, enemies to fight, things to jump on, and the dialogue also starts at this level of expectation.
But why would Raleigh want bad weather at his own hideout 24/7?
Beats me. But rain or shine, I'm gonna steal my family's book back. And if Raleigh gets in my way, it's on.
It's not all that flattering, Sly's vengeful expositing is a bit hokey, and Bentley seems like another contrived nerd who has spent 20 years failing to successfully blow his nose. Solidarity, brother. Conversations just feel at this point like the usual excuses to get you from point A to point B, and it seems like all the activities, played out in a linear obstacle course style fashion, aren't that interesting on paper. Already though, we're being fed information through the design, starting with the gameplay. The gimmicks are your stealthy abilities, and the world must be interacted with in a precise way to get across Sly's competency as a criminal. Sucker Punch didn't want him to look like a thief without also moving like one, and they hope to avoid the trap of creating a property whose gameplay reflects little of their visual concept, playing like any other collectathon. It was important to have an expanded set of abilities to depict this, without a complicated control scheme, and their solution was rather simple, an all-purpose method. The ease at which Sly can pull off incredibly tricky moves is reflected in the player's ease of input. He can sneak, climb, perch on, flatten against, and swing across a multitude of obstacles, all through a simple press of the circle button. This is indicated through a variety of visual cues that are unobtrusive and easily noticed, which, for a thief thinking on his feet, is perfect. Further competency is accentuated by the animation, with simple moves like double jumping accompanied with an athletic flourish, and lots of little stabilized reactions added to soft landings. It's this kind of control-based identification that builds a more physical picture of how good this character is at what he does. Getting into character and staying there doesn't need that much verbal encouragement. Camera placement and level design is cleverly used to get you thinking about how to approach obstacles like Sly, discussed quite openly in the PS2 version of the game's commentary, easily the coolest unlockable in the series.
This level features a couple game mechanics that we use all over the place, but in here it's pretty pronounced, and that's when you get up on top of chandeliers and you're looking down on a guard, where the whole point is to get the drop on your opponent, jump down and smack them in the head with your cane. And oddly enough, even though you're many feet away from your opponent and you can go anywhere, whenever we see people playing, they instinctually bash people in the backs of their heads from above. So
the team was looking at communicating in an environment filled with funky shapes what is and isn't kosher to engage with, to keep you moving ahead without much confusion, and to satisfy your natural instincts to keep it fun. You start to be more preemptive, to want to be sneakier, and to take part in the theatricality of the world you've been presented with. The key obstacles are also appropriately themed to your actions. There's a universal security system that covers the occasional section of platforming. Trip a light and the alarm will go off. Trip a light again and you die. The sound of the alarm and the 2-trip system gives the player a chance to realize their mistake and work to get better at avoiding this. There are barrels you can hide in to avoid being spotted by guards or to defend yourself from any traps, and they decided to tonalize this with some cheeky dynamic music cues. Clue bottle collectibles contain the code to a safe at the end of every level, which, when unlocked, produces a page of the book you've been after. With every page you retrieve, you learn a new stealthy move that increases your precision, helps you avoid the guards, and perfect your completion of each level on repeat playthroughs. These all avoid feeling arbitrary and tie back neatly into the narrative. You, as a player, benefit from this work as much as Sly to become a better thief. You will not, however, improve in real life. Been there, broken that. If you like that stuff, you might find yourself appreciating the framing devices around the environments. Your first area isn't just some rainy wasteland, it's the Welsh Triangle, a real location from Wales in the UK. This place is a associated with a lot of UFO sightings and a historically savage coastline, much like the Bermuda Triangle it originally took its name from, itself involved in a lot of missing aircraft cases. This version of the triangle merges the history of both, so at some points we see loads of destroyed vintage crafts that would have crashed over the years used as part of the level design, items the stage's mechanically minded villain is using as both his cover and for his growing collection of research parts. The application of real-world factors makes for inspired work. We get both a unique level type and some context for our villain's habits, right down to his extensive art collections and waterlogged libraries. I wouldn't say it's always so intricate. China is as standard as you expect, perhaps, populated by pagodas and dojos and Jackie Chan. But the voodoo mythos of Haiti and the composite American city of Mesa, inspired by both Vegas and Utah, where gambling is illegal, it's actually a big no-no out there, certainly take enough outside inspiration to give environments a lived-in quality. Incidentally, Mesa's first level is a really good example of the way progression is subconsciously fed to the player through evolving background detail.
As the player would progress in towards Mesa City, you get more of that kind of abandoned, desolate, not so much junkyard feeling, but ghost town vibe.
Definitely.
As you went from no man-made structures, and then you find a shack, and then you get to like a house, and then a building, and then multiple buildings, and then this sort of subway terminal. Right. All of which are progressively denser and denser kind of urban images.
This is how the levels of Sly Cooper stay so engaging. They are always telling stories. Background design is used to break up the rhythm of a level, distinct segments handed out like story beats. Sometimes letting a bit of world building take center stage to offer the mechanics new focus. Enemies are geared to the pace of the location, be it all of the brightly coloured Mesa dogs and their obvious confrontational attacks, or the trickier monsters and searchlight guards of the intimidating swamps. Level concepts hang on idents of the villain's operations to let you observe, as you sneak, what goes into their plans firsthand.
I see, chaps. My heartiest congratulations to you all.
It has come to my attention that a thief is loose somewhere inside the firework production facility.
We'll have an army of ghosts by morning and take over Mexico by the end of the week.
I think the core reason the worlds feel so rich in narrative is that they're informed largely by those masterminds. Dev Madan was the conceptual lead on the franchise, and explained in an interview for the sequel that the initial world design process had been to come up with the boss characters first. The animal choice often suggests a real-life location, which further informs the character, and then the boss's chosen colours informs the palette of their territory. You feel their influence through each world because of these choices, and that undercurrent helps boost their status against Sly's. Their visual level of environmental ownership dwarfing his, so you consider them a big deal. Sly gains extra underdog sympathy points this way. He fits into the overall style, but make no mistake, when on their turf, he is, visually, always a trespasser. Of course, their personalities have to match those established flavours, as well as measure up to this larger-than-life notoriety, and the animal choice dictates a lot of that. Great thing about anthropomorphized design is that animals are life's caricatures. They're further removed from the specifics we recognise in individuals, and have generalised traits in behaviour and appearance we can riff on infinitely, especially dogs. Many are so specific to their region that they automatically conjure up a sense of place when you see them, and that's ripe for use in a globe-trotting game like this. It sets the tonal rules. We're already this far away from humans, so the accessible broadness is going to result in some mischievous stereotyping. This is how Aesop caricatured peeps he didn't like without naming names, but he was allegedly thrown off a cliff when they found out, so if you want to try this, maybe weigh up your options and avoid high places. We've got all of this in action. Miss Ruby's a gator, often associated with the swamps of the Deep South, historically sharing cultural roots with Haiti, so she hangs out there with a down-home Cajun drawl as well as a penchant for voodoo crimes.
I could feel that Cooper vibe a-coming.
Raleigh's an expanding frog, and therefore was made into a pompous British blowhard and aristocrat.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry.
In fact, his giant hat is a holdover from when he and his men were references to Alice in Wonderland, another British tie-in. Note the walruses dressed as carpenters, the signs were there, my dudes. Mugshots are junkyard bulldog, so he's an inner-city punk with a Brooklyn twang.
I feel transgressed and violated.
Panda King's pretty obvious, coming from China. This is mixed with cheesy kung fu movies, having him speak in monosyllabic stoicism.
You shall pay dearly for your disrespect.
All largely accessible, grounded in fact, but broad in its fiction. It's also, as we meet more of the characters, noticeable that the dialogue improves. Not saying it's ever going to be Evelyn Waugh, so few things are, but there's a lot to like about the brief moments handed to each person. The golden-throated Bentley really does grow on you, I swear.
I'm 99% sure you'll be able to ride them all the way to the top of that statue before they explode.
What about that other 1%?
Well, in that case, Sly, you will be blown to bits. but the experience will no doubt be spectacular.
Nice.
But yeah, a friend of mine was instrumental in making the company Sucker Punch, and when they were making this game, they wanted to test some software out. He had me come over to his house and just do some voice tracks. They kept using this scratch track voice, my voice, on there, and then they handed the casting off to somebody else. They ran through a bunch of people for the role of Bentley, and they kept coming back to Sucker Punch, and they would say, no, we don't really like this. We kind of like this scratch track that we have. Can you get somebody that sounds like this? And then somewhere along the line, somebody realized that I am a real person.
But yeah, there's a few moments I'm fond of here. I really like the way Mugshot fumbles his words.
Thingus rackamagookus.
Or Miss Ruby's insistence that if jaws need to flap,
Then let them flap!
just some very specific word choices that stick out and infer stuff about these guys and Sly's place in the world I maybe wouldn't have thought about otherwise. No feeling it needs to instill tangential information about Derek's tuna sandwich to get a laugh. Or some other unfunny shit, fist bump, nailed it, I farted, haha, I love writing video games. It's playful stuff, feeling appropriate to the characters and having fun with what's already in front of them. Boss fights take part in this, making use of the animal chosen for a bit of added humour and trying to change it up with each personality type. The one that sticks out the most is of course Miss Ruby's musical boss fight. It's so smart that this comes halfway through the game. A fun, quirky high point after a very intense set of morbid levels, which immediately gets nicely deflated again with the more straightforward and relaxed Panda King stages in the snowy mountains. It's another example of Sucker Punch's awareness of what gives a narrative natural flow. Each situation varies from the last in its look and tone to avoid tedium, but it also knows when it's appropriate to rise and fall against the player's emotional investment based on the stretch of gameplay they just went through. It's also why it's so sad that they screwed this level entirely for the HD collection. Goddamn.
I can't believe you've done this.
Maybe the only place where the fun falls flat is Carmelita, her delivery in this game being...
This pistol packs a paralyzing punch. You ought to try it. Might snap you out of your crime spree.
But that doesn't diminish the special role she plays in spiking the tenor of this journey with her chase levels. The developers had Sly feeling like a nimble thief, but they also wanted to stress his role as a wanted criminal. Cracking safes and sneaking still led to noble goals, so they needed that oppressive force to make Sly feel like a character out of options, and hoped to try and create an evolution of the famous chase sequences in Crash to do so. This had to be interactively frantic without losing the visual storytelling between these characters, so plenty of considerations are made to have all those elements shown as clearly as possible.
Yeah, we wanted to have something where it didn't involve as much memorization, where it involved a fair amount of reactionary stuff rather than having to memorize the environment.
Carmelita as a concept is close to brilliant. Based on various inspirations, the only ones I can verify being Selma Hayek and Zenigata of Lupin III, she's the self-serious foil to Sly's carefree banter, all confident poses and bright colours against his sneaky, darker tones. Making her an aggressive Latino lady also stands out against the rest of the cast, plus she's someone Sly, who we know is partly innocent, genuinely likes, in spite of her desperation to catch him. Not to mention that she's a police officer, and there is a clear distinction between the antagonism of the law and the actual villains of the story. It immediately paints her as a flawed, well-meaning individual for the player to like as well. The rapidity at which you understand what her character's about makes her a lightning bolt of conflict in Sly's life, instantly increasing the dramatic tension when she's around and succeeding in Sucker Punch's goals. The unrequited nature of the relationship is what gives the characters that ongoing sense of frustration, an atmosphere I think sells the franchise on the potential for constant conflict and engagement at every turn. Not as much as it could be, but certainly in the lingering impact it has for us thanks to how it began here.
Watch your back, Cooper. When you least expect it, I'll be there.
All these characters help give Sly more to bounce off, and I have to say, I think he really does grow on you as a character as the game goes on. This is one of those examples where voice talent can go a long way. He might be a little restrained in this game, but the quality of Kevin Miller's voice is what gives Sly that even-tempered feel that makes him seem a little less obnoxious than he could, and I think probably helped land him the job.
So I was their engineer for all the auditions, and I sat and watched people read for Sly Cooper for 2 weeks. You know, the director, Nancy, said, you need to read for this. And I said, I plan to. But in my mind, I was waiting until the end of the week so that I had rehearsed it all week by directing people through it. They threw it up to the folks at Sucker Punch, and they throw down their choices. But half the team like some guy, I don't remember, we'll call him Ryan. The other half, the team of people that had a vote in who was going to be Sly, hated Ryan's audition, but loved some other guy named Jonathan. Everybody's second pick, though, was Kevin Miller.
He may start out a little self-serious in the opening chapter, but soon he's more well-footed in his insults and threats, befitting his thiefy status.
You are a thief, just like me.
You're just a frustrated firework artist turned homicidal pyromaniac.
I love this showdown with Panda King. I feel like this is where Sly was at his peak level of banter, in what was the easiest but also most frantic fight of the entire game.
Fiery wheel!
Again, variating nicely against what had come before.
Booming chop!
So much for that guy. Won't be seeing him again. All of what we've discussed is given the clarity it deserves thanks to the illustrative polish, which is a total love letter to serialized fiction. Various interviews cite the desire for the project to remain one step away from the flat and graphic pop of a comic book, imitating an illustration. The cell shading gave them both flattened textures and thick borders for the level of graphic pop they were after, letting shape and colour take most of the attention, and also separating foregrounds and backgrounds through levels of detail. Didn't hurt either that they had chosen an angular style. Models are made of polygons, which are all hard-angled shapes, and older games could only use so many of them. So, angular styles were easier to accomplish in the engine as originally envisioned, compared to rounded, more detailed ones. This is a big reason why games with this specification in mind still look pretty good, all things considered. And then there's the bread of our story sandwich. That Sly is presented as an animated series, or even more pedantically as an animated adaptation of a comic book. Every level is treated as a standalone episode, slotted between the previously mentioned stylized 2D cutscenes. The openings even have these neat old school title cards, much like the animated Batman. Usually the scenes are quite limited in their movement, but the style is absolutely entrenched in the mindset of comic books. Typical comics are often visually bold, with a focus on dramatic poses that make still images appear to be moving, and heavy shadowed contrast for dramatic weight. The presentation of Sly sits between this and the streamlining of an animated series, which satisfies the needs for a production on limited technology and budget without sacrificing the need for something that had a lot of implied motion. I think it's fair to say that they're not quite confident in their approach to these just yet. There's some untamed experimentation going on here as they try to nail down a vision. Sometimes it opts for individually drawn frames of animation, sometimes it's just static figures with moving parts. It hasn't decided on where its limits lie yet. It's clearly all in Dev Madan's specific style, but hasn't been given enough polish to make it read as well as his individual drawings. The backgrounds and characters clash because they have the same quality of outline and texture, so they jockey for visual dominance, which can make some of the images feel cluttered and abrasive. Regardless, they hold up in establishing the tone of the story with their concoction of sharp edges and vivid colours. Can't think of a better style for a caricatured anti-hero. It's the last ingredient needed to make the game feel like a well-presented tale. With the striking contrast between each level, the clever use of bookended comic panels to mark the journey, and the tantalizingly interesting characters, this is a well-thought-out bundle of adventures, rather than a long and repetitive journey to the end. Being this well-presented, all it needs now is a satisfying ending. It all sounds too good to be true, and that's because it is. Because I'm going to talk about all the bad stuff, I'm so sorry.
You're really scaring me, man.
This is where I realise it looks like I've over-egged the breakfast a little bit. Up until now, I've been making a case for how Sly 1 uses the medium to produce a great narrative, using very investable techniques. There's just one problem. It's built on an average foundation. A lot of the detail I've praised takes place at the conceptual level, and I don't know that it's enough to grab the average player who's sitting there going, it's another cartoon babies game, this isn't art. While it goes above and beyond in its attempt to make everything feel justified, at its core it still relies on the structure of most of its contemporaries. Like 5 worlds on a map with a bunch of portals that take you to linear stages to fight bosses, you get the gist. There's nothing wrong with that structure on its own, it just doesn't make the most of the potential that the characters have to offer. Other well-presented stories use appropriate structures to facilitate the concepts they're applying, and they kind of scream different overall in a way Sly 1 perhaps does not. This is why, to some people who aren't all that fussy, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger and Sly are on the same level of quality, and while I think that's stupid, I absolutely understand why someone might think so. I thought exactly the same when I cared less as a kid too, so you know. The typicalities that plague other platformers around this generation therefore also plague Sly. Some of you who've played this might be wondering why I haven't mentioned the arbitrary filler yet, and that's because I'm doing it now. It's hard to ignore this stuff. No long boy video justifying the narrative immersion of the camera placement is really going to be able to accommodate the Light 25 Torches mission as anything other than stodgy. It's just not going to happen. It's not awful. Sometimes they punctuate to the maybe more business-like sections with their flippancy in a good way. It's just something like destroy these chickens used in Miss Ruby's voodoo rituals to get a key off a ghost actually feels less tenuous in that moment than race against these monkeys and they'll give you a key to their master. Like, why would they?
So I hurry over here and then all of a sudden, monkeys are everywhere!
Ah, there's a point. Murray feels like an unfinished character. There's no polite way of putting it. I'm not just saying this because I know what happens later. He actually comes from a great starting point.
Murray has a huge case of Sly envy. He wants to be Sly in the worst possible way, and he has absolutely none of the capabilities to do it.
Unfortunately, it sounds like there was a bit of a mistranslation and execution, something his voice actor Chris Murphy has discussed before.
You know, one sheet of paper for each character, the whole list of things about his personality, one of which was sexual orientation. And I remember Murray's as being, like, experimenting or something like that.
Are you serious? I don't remember that, but I believe it.
I'm thinking, okay, well, here's a big, gay, pink hippo with a little vest and no pants. So, you know, I figured I would just do a voice like this. Hey, Sly!
The issue that was explained to me wasn't that it was two gays, that people didn't get that he was gay. That they played it for audiences and testers, and all the teenagers are like, oh yeah, he's supposed to be like, what's the dinosaur? The big...
Barney?
Barney. This
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
So, now he's this big apologetic burden with no self-control, and that's fine, and the gameplay he takes part in totally reflects that. The player has to partake in some tangential tasks to deal with his bumbling, playing out as either an assist mission or a racing level. The thing that makes this all feel like slightly tedious filler is that any sense of connection to Murray is hard to find. Bentley, as tutorial giver, makes his presence felt a lot, and has a lot of personal interplay with Sly, but Murray, even when on the field, is held at arm's length. He never has the same level of rapport with the team, and his justifications, which should have arisen from his attempts to emulate Sly, aren't there. Van races, sure, that's his thing, but why deliberately put him out in the field if Sly's the best man for the job? Shouldn't he have run in there like, oh, I just wanted to be like Sly, and you're like, Murray, you idiot, gotta save you now? It would have worked. It just makes it harder to feel all that involved. Funny thing is, this is actually important in hindsight, but in the standalone light of this game, that lack of real connection to the character makes this all feel tenuous. Was there anything else I was gonna... Oh yes. We should probably address the Sly iconography used as lives and checkpoints. Kinda generic, pulls you out of the world a bit. The horseshoe concept is still cool. Sly is normally killed in one hit, but if he has a lucky horseshoe or two, he can take extra damage. It has a function that makes sense inside of the character's universe, so it works. But for everything else, having his own face and logo floating around the inside of the enemy's strongholds is a bit weak. To the team's credit, they'd allegedly debated some alternatives, one featured in the beta which actually tackles the issue. There were these two characters called Zig and Zag who, from what I can piece together, were ace reporters, hiding throughout the levels waiting to take Sly's picture. They'd chronicle his progress to save the game and then duck out of sight before you could catch them. It was a real nice touch, honestly. I'm just establishing your case for reasonable doubt here. The point, again, is that Sly 1's biggest flaw is that it still bears the peripheral marks of the market at the time, which sometimes hurts its character-driven goals, and I understand why players might have reacted in a less than enthusiastic way because of this. It's also understandable how these things happen. There's only so much you can get right the first time in establishing a new IP, and there's an abundance of evidence to show how much the devs were still trying to figure out up until launch.
These taser packs a paralyzing punch.
My new climb move.
So it's very possible to get here and still not feel like this has taken the next step in getting your attention. As a kid, when I played it, I had no appreciation for much of the points I'd mentioned previously, and wasn't necessarily impressed by where the story was going. I didn't think it was all that special. Until...
We were on our way to the Krakarov volcano in Russia. While looking over what little information I had on the final member of the Fiendish Five, I began to notice something. In the 4 parts of the Thievius Raccoonus recovered so far, several of the pictures depict a shadowy owl-like figure, which looks very similar to the police images of the mysterious Clockwork. Is this a strange coincidence, or is there something I'm missing?
Gets me every time. Sly's whole gimmick is about hiding, about not being seen and staying one step ahead of the enemy. To tell us now that something has been aware of our history and progress, maybe even hovering over our shoulder this whole time, something that doesn't seem remotely human, well, it's not wearing a hat or anything. That's a payoff. It's a little creepy. I'm Spook. I've been doing a lot of research into who wrote the actual plot and or dialogue for the series, a question I've had for years, and as far as I can tell, Nate Fox is the man behind the words. He also mentioned that he was the lead designer on the project, serving as someone who came up with ideas to be iterated on by other departments. Another person is credited for the script online, Joseph Kwong, who, judging by his early credits, appears to have been a jobbing writer for television at the time. But in a much later interview, Nate talked about how he took over dialogue on the back half of the project's development, a job he kept on the sequel. I can't confirm this, I don't know what sequence this game was made in, but the final level feels like it has his prints all over it. The presentation is a lot closer to all that was to follow, the first sign of the series actually living up to the promised potential, and delivering a villain that rightfully remains Sly's greatest foe to date. The Russian chapter starts off rather tame with some busy work, but arriving at a section where you must save Carmelita turns a lot of the game's storytelling habits on their head. Sly and Bentley's banter finally enters something a little bit more contentious for a start.
She looks trapped.
Serves that cop right. She's been dogging us from the start.
It's just a misunderstanding. We've got to free her.
Are you crazy, Sly?
Shockingly, things don't actually work out for a change, leading to Bentley having to overcome his cowardice to help, and it's even, after so long, finally placed into the player's hands.
Haven't had to do this in a while. Level 3! No code can stand before me.
This, as minuscule as it might seem, is a character arc. Huh. Sly and Carmelita also come to something of an understanding, fighting against what is admittedly a ridiculous injection of James Bond-style ephemera as he traverses his way to the boss's lair with a chance to play, sorta, as Carmelita. Then, after all that build-up, we're finally face to face with the foe.
Sly! Behind you!
The final conversation is a worthy bit of dialogue to start the battle, as much in the creature's delivery as the semantic words on the screen.
Sly Cooper, you have escaped my gas chamber and destroyed my death ray. Remarkable. You Coopers always find a way to beat me.
Always? So that was you in the background of all those old pictures in the Thievius Raccoonus. How old are you?
Perfection has no age.
What? You're immortal?
Revenge is the prime ingredient in the fountain of youth. I've kept myself alive for hundreds of years with a steady diet of jealousy and hate, awaiting the day when I would finally eclipse your family's thieving reputation.
There's something just unsettling about his mild frustration, his answer spoken with infinite patience laced with annoyance. The fact that he's the only character in the game who's just a giant monster owl, no hat, no jacket, thank God. Some of this is of course what's inferred by the player here, which is fine as it makes for a decent final battle that does manage to give Sly a nice moment of conversational triumph over his foe, something so rarely fulfilled in these adventures. It's nicely parceled out too. You have to beat each phase in order to be rewarded with the next part of the revelation.
You must have known my father had a son. If you hated the Coopers so much, why did you let me live when you stole the Thievius Raccoonus?
Because I wanted to show the world that without your precious book, the Cooper line was nothing.
Ah, well, there's where you're wrong. The Thievius Raccoonus doesn't create great thieves. It takes great thieves to create the Thievius Raccoonus.
Enough, Sly Cooper. It ends here. I will finish you like I finished your father.
So, after you lay into chamois some more, the final stage becomes something of a melancholy moment, trawling through the wreckage rather than fighting. It ends as Sly makes one last janky effort to rip the wrecked owl apart, but not without a potentially skippable word of caution.
Cooper! You will never be rid of me. Clockwork is superior.
I like that this was included before the final blow. Feels as deliberate as most of this chapter. But of course, all does wrap up well. Sly and Carmelita have a moment only to return to the status quo.
We're back to playing cops and robbers. I thought for sure she was gonna slap the handcuffs on me right then and there. But instead, she was true to her word and gave me that 10-second head start.
Oh, I feel it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4...
This is too good for kids.
3, 2... 1.
And everyone goes back to doing what they do best, with a couple of changes. Sly takes enough of a breather to acknowledge Murray and Bentley's efforts, and if you collect all the optional pages, you even get yourself a nice epilogue to show that the entire Cooper ancestry is back in safe hands, leaving Sly feeling much more empowered.
The time had come for me to chronicle my own adventures into the great book. is gonna be fun.
What a confident note to end on. A satisfying resolution that acknowledges everything we've been through and completes the major conflict that was presented. There's a minor sequel hook, but even that doesn't take away from the feeling that this story is done, and rightfully so. That final explosion of investment plays a big role in my feeling satisfied, and I suddenly find myself thinking back even more fondly on what came before. I was never lost from where it all began. Not bad. I could go again, but I won't. I have to finish this video. Sly 1 is by and large a tidy little game. It's an accomplished look at creating a character-driven experience at every turn, telling a great story through the use of the medium with many well-produced traditional techniques applied to each aspect of the production. There is one more thing I want to pick up on, a connecting thread that links all of these ideas together and makes it feel, thematically, part of a consistent whole. Let's recap a little. There's Sly himself, all this talk about family legacy and the quest to live up to it without a guideline. Every character you meet becomes embroiled in this narrative about self-determination and what's owed to them. Each of the villains you fight all had similar instances in their lives of isolation and rejection. What makes them differently angled mirrors to our protagonist is how they dealt with those feelings and the personas they created to get away from them. How about Carmelita, an aggressive and determined woman of rank no less, whose main vendetta against Sly is thwarted at every turn. Their romance is jinxed by the professions they sport. We have Bentley priding himself on his hacking skills after panicking through all the other levels. Murray overcoming his fears and braving the field in spite of acknowledging his own nature as a liability. Think back to the points about the environments, places with real-world connotations that are used to colour the designs of each level, and of course the core conflict between Sly and Clockwork about legacy, the one who engineered himself into having gifts, and the one who had to fight and prove himself to get them back. This is all part of the same root theme. Years ago, I suggested that Ratchet & Clank's overall theme was consumerism. Every character and idea in the franchise sprung from that core principle, and while that was in use, the series' narrative hung together very successfully and felt fulfilling. Sly likewise hangs together on its own strong theme: reputation. That's the frame around the edge of the jigsaw. I stress this, it's not an overly complex or confusing idea, but it's how we can build to something more layered. It's simple and accessible enough that it won't shatter under scrutiny. Do I think it was all deliberate? Most of it, yes, but it doesn't have to be. I find that while it's helpful to know, a good storyteller often has these instincts, acts on them appropriately, and finds that through their dabbling, they've created something that has this sense of being more than it started as. This is why I think Sly 1 is always worth its praise, because while it's not the most remarkable or groundbreaking game, it is exceptionally well looked after in its presentational choices in a way a lot of games it was competing with were not. They took something that could have been very ordinary and made it incredibly investable, gameplay working in tandem with its concept. It's the clear proving ground of a company that deserved to move forward onto bigger and better projects, having laid the foundation of a very viable franchise. So, no wonder then that the sequel was such a well-founded hit, but that is of course a story for next time.
sleeping tonight, I know that it's gonna be war. Lately been up wondering why I'm even worth fighting for. I've been getting so tired of holding the line. Yeah, the price that I paid to survive seems so high, and I am raising my white flag tonight. When I close my eyes, it's there waiting for me. Finds me every time. Will I ever be free? There's a monster I cage deep behind my eyes. I can never escape. I've been running for miles. When the morning comes, I know it will still be there. My never-ending nightmare.
Pull the veil over my eyes so I can see the person I become. What am I doing with my life? Try to stop staring at the sun, but my eyes get the best of me. I'm on the edge, I'm in too deep. Why can't you see that I'm right here waiting? I close my eyes, it's there waiting for me. Finds me every time. Will I never be free? There's a monster I cage deep behind my eyes. I can never escape. I've been running for miles. When the morning comes, I know it will still be there. My never-ending nightmare.
I've almost had enough, knowing I just couldn't get much lower. It's got me so messed up, never knowing when this story's over. It's so hard to fight for myself when living means living in hell. When I close my eyes,
It's there waiting for me.
finds me every time.
Will I never be free?
There's a monster I cage deep behind my eyes.
I can never escape. I've been running for miles.
When the morning comes, I know it will still be there. My never-ending nightmare. Things we lost to the flood.
Each and every day, hiding from the sunshine, wandering in the shade. Not too old, not too young. Every night again, dancing with the moonlight. Somewhere far away, I can hear your call.
I'm out of my head, of my heart, and my mind. 'Cause you can run, but you can't hide. I'm gonna make you mine. Out of my head, of my heart, and my mind. 'Cause I can feel how your flesh now is crying out for more. tell what I see in your eyes. Awaiting your mistake. Not too close, not too far. Thinking in the pain. Every truth becomes light. I won't trust myself once I hear your call. Out of my head, of my heart, of my mind. Out of my head, of my heart, of my mind. I'm out of my head, of my heart, of my mind. Out of my head, of my heart, of my mind. I'm gonna make you mine.
Gave you too much, now I'm swallowed. Now I'm the fool while you're breaking rules. Dangerous path that I follow. Oh, go on, just do what you do. And it as I bleed for you, cry for you, oh, oh. Let me bleed. As I bleed for you, cry for you, oh, oh. Let me bleed. Let me all of the pain seems to follow like a shadow, dark and cold to the touch. Am I insane not to let go? Oh, go on, just do what you do. And it as I bleed for you, cry for you, oh, oh. Let me bleed. As I bleed for you, cry for you, oh, oh. Let me bleed. it's getting worse. A promise you made, cut down by your blade. Can't stand the rain, can't stand the pain. How it breaks my heart when you tear it apart. So why did you lie? Why did your words amount to nothing? And why did it fall? Why did you leave me here with nothing? Look at what you've done. Is this your happy ending? Look around and see, this is history repeating. Do you even care that you've left things beyond repair? It was by your hand you've turned a masterpiece into a nightmare. Oh, it hurts and it hurts and it's getting worse. You act like a judge, enforcing your personal grudge. Am I to pay for this war you've raised? Yes, it breaks my heart when you tear it apart. So why did you lie? Why did your words amount to nothing? And why did it fall? Why did you leave me here with nothing? Look at what you've done. You've brought upon disaster. Do you still believe this is the justice you sought after?
There's a memory of how we used to be that I can see through the flames. I am hypnotized as I fantasize, forgetting lies and pain, but I can't go back. Yes, it's called my name. Pouring the fuel, fanning the flames, breaking the habit and mounting the chase, embracing the fear, chasing the fight. The glow of the fire will light up the night. The bridges are burning, the heat's on my face, making the past an unreachable place. Pouring the fuel, fanning the flames. I know this is the point of no return. It's uncontrollable, such a beautiful desire. There's something sinister about the way it hurts when I watch it burn, because I can't go back. Yes, it's called my name. Pouring the fuel, fanning the flames, breaking the habit and mounting the chase, embracing the fear, chasing the fire. hung high and dry, where no one can see. If there's no one to blame, blame it on me. Storm in the sky, fire in the streets. If there's nothing but pain, put it on me. You are the cold, inescapable proof. You're the evil, the way, and the life, and the truth. Your revival beginning, and your genocide, and I watch and wonder. You are the cold, inescapable proof. You're the evil, the way, and the life, and the truth. Your revival beginning, and your genocide, and I watch and wonder. Hung high and dry, when was shining brighter when I tried to understand. Don't understand. Oh, how did I lose myself within this lie? And when will I be found as I'm coming closer to the ground? So that I drowned, so that I gave it up, but everything I gave was not enough. And as I fall, the pain beneath it begins to come. Begins to come. The pain beneath it begins to come. Begins to come. But now I think I may have taken this too far. All I wanna know is ending up a scar. Am I better off? I think you're better off. So here I am and I'm just floating in the dark. I know you think I should've fought, but it's so hard. You're better off. I'm better and I'm better I gave it up, but everything I gave was not enough. And as I fall, the pain beneath it begins to come. Begins to come. The pain beneath it begins to come. Begins to come. I'm seeing shimmers in this long-lasting dream. A made-up image, bringing back memories. Yes, I've been wasting like most of my life watching paintings dry. I wanna take back the hours we last singing lullabies, lullabies. No, no one's tough when faced with time. We waste our lives lying, we're fine. We step on knives to pass that time. We waste our lives lying, we're fine. Lying, we're fine. Lying, we're fine. lights begin to flicker. Paranoia fills my head. My heart pounds, my face is red. The silence drowning out my screams. See everybody look at me. Their bodies turn into the beast. Their eyes are red, they come for me. Waiting slowly in my head, just breathe in, breathe out. Another episode, just calm down, calm down. Instincts raging wild inside me, hold me up so tight. Fear freezes me to ice. I'm locked up in my mind. Minds and wavers back and forth, paranoid so calm and sure, lucid dreaming every day, from chill to hyperventilate. See everything that could go wrong, it clings to me from dusk to dawn. To isolate's the only way, is mental health deteriorate. Everything's foggy, hold on, breathe in, breathe out. Another morning, come on, calm down, calm down. Instincts waging war inside me, hold me up so tight. Fear freezes me to ice. I'm locked up in my locked up in won't you let me go? Just let me go. I can take much more. Won't you let me go? Don't know if I'm awake or I'm asleep. These thoughts are burying me deep, afraid of every little thing. I'm drowning, I'm drowning. My soul's just longing here for peace. When the darkness screams and shouts and shrieks you all, their ear is down and bay. Please save me, please save me. Please save me. You've never been real. You're not real. So get out of my mind. You're not real. You've never been real. You're not real. So get out of my Something's in the water. Something's down below. There's something in the water. Everywhere I go. Ooh, something isn't right. friends, they sound like bad people. Your daddy sounds like a jerk. I guess your mama didn't know the gift she got when she got you. Sorry about your life, you had it pretty rough. Bending over backwards, never good enough. You poor thing in my socks, I mean you. I know it's not your fault, it never is it? I know what it's like, staying up all night, nursing wounds. Checks more than I have, big fights with the past, I always lose. Don't you know that's no way to live? I know what it's like, staying up all night, nursing I get it, give me a little credit. I remember when I was that pathetic. When the scars on the sleeve for all the world to see. Like, look what they did to me, quick. Lay on the sympathy thick. Probably have the right to feel how you do. You were mistreated and cheated out of the childhood you needed. Never succeeded. You're so convinced you're defeated. You're obsessed with it yesterday, then you're destined to repeat it. I know it's not your fault, it never is it? I know what it's like, staying up all night, nursing wounds. Checks more than I have, big fights with the past, I always lose. Don't you know that's no way to live? I know what it's like, staying up all night, nursing Checks more than I have, big fights with the past, I always lose. Don't you know that's no way to live? I know what it's like, staying up all night, nursing wounds. My heart is weak. Tear it down piece by piece. Leave me to think. Deep in my structure, think I still love her, but I need some sleep. You've taken my breath away. Now I want to breathe. 'Cause I cannot see what you can see so easily. I thought my demons were almost defeated, but you took the side and you pulled them to freedom. I kept your secrets and I thought that you would do the same. Leave me in peace. Caught in my memories, lost underneath. Deep in my structure, I feel a rupture from where she should be. You've taken my breath from me. Now I want to breathe. 'Cause I cannot see secrets, and I thought that you would do the same. Your secrets, and I thought that you would do the same.
Feel the weight of the world over me tonight. If I break down this time, hope you know I tried. My mind's such a mess, I can't handle it. I'm at the end of my rope. I'm so sick of this, just so over it. Why won't you let me let go? My neck is breaking, body's shaking. Sometimes it's so hard to breathe, but no one sees it follows me. I always end up underneath the weight of the world. I don't like myself very much, despite all your kind words. Can't explain why I'm hurting myself, but it feels deserved. My mind's such a mess, I can't handle it. I'm at the end of my rope. I'm so sick of this, I'm so over it. Why won't you let me let go? My neck is breaking, body's shaking. Sometimes it's so hard to breathe, but no one sees it follows me. I always end up underneath. These thoughts won't rest, I can't forgive. I overthink until I'm sick. I'm too damn tired to want to fight. I don't feel strong enough to leave on the light, to leave on the light. My neck is breaking, body's shaking. Sometimes it's so hard to breathe, but no one sees it follows me. I over me tonight.
It's okay to feel this way. We're lost inside the hurricane. We all feel pain, we bend and break, but time will make this right again. Show me how your heart beats, I wanna feel it. Show me where you're breaking, I wanna see it. I hear you scream, I wanna fix it. I swear I'm listening. I know it's hard 'cause it don't make no sense. And now you find yourself standing on the edge again. You can make it, kid, don't give in. You're the light I need. I want you to know that it's okay to feel this way. We're lost inside the hurricane. We all feel pain, we bend and break, but time will make this right again. I promise that I'll be here till the sun starts freezing. Promise that I'll hold your hand till your heart stops beating. I'll walk back in to the fire again, 'cause love's the only thing worth dying for. I know it's hard 'cause it don't make no sense. And now you find yourself standing on the edge again. But you can make it, kid, don't give in. Be the light I need. I hope you know that it's okay to feel this way. We're lost inside the hurricane. We all feel pain, we bend and break, but time will make this right again. And I feel like this might be the end of the world. Do you feel that this could be the end of the world? I always said there's a sinking feeling in my heart. When it's do or die, and I swear I'd die for you like that. You can make it, you can make it. I hope you know that it's okay to feel this way. We're lost inside the hurricane. We all feel pain, we bend and break, but time will make this right again. Don't wanna see you on the edge again. Don't wanna see you on the edge again. Baby, I'm praying on you tonight. Hunt you down, eat you alive. Just like animals, animals like animals. Maybe you think that you can hide. I can smell your scent from miles. Just like animals, animals like animals. Maybe so what you trying to do to me? It's like we can't stop, we're enemies, but we get along when I'm inside you. You're like a drug that's killing me. I cut you out entirely, but I get so high when I'm inside you. Yeah, you can start over, you can run free, you can find other fish in the sea. You can pretend it's meant to be, but you can't stay away from me. I can still hear you making that sound, taking me down, rolling on the ground. You can pretend that it was me, but no. Baby, I'm praying on you tonight.
done is not enough. You're still in my head, forever stuck. So you can do what you wanna do. I love your lies, I'll eat them up, but don't deny the animal that comes along when I'm inside you. Yeah, you can start over, you can run free, you can find other fish in the sea. You can pretend it's meant to be, but you can't stay away from me. I can still hear you making that sound, taking me down, rolling on the ground. You can pretend that it was me, but no. Baby, I'm playing on you tonight. Hunt you down, eat your lies. Just like animals, animals, like animals. Maybe you think that you can hide. I can smell your scent from miles. Just like animals, animals, like animals. Don't tell no lie. You can't deny the beast inside. No girl, don't lie. You can't deny the beast inside. Playing on you tonight. Hunt you down, eat your lies. Just like animals, animals, like animals. Maybe you think that you can hide. I can smell your scent from miles. Just like animals, animals, like animals. Don't tell no lie. You can't deny the beast inside. No girl, don't lie. You can't deny the beast inside.
All my wolves begin to howl. Wake me up, the time is now. Can you hear the drumming? There's a revolution coming. Wide awake, get the fever burns. Sweat it out, wait my turn. Can you hear the drumming? There's a revolution coming. All this doubt is creeping in, inside out, shed my skin. Can you hear the drumming? There's a revolution coming. I've been waiting all my life to live when I've only been dreaming. Get love when I've only been stealing. Can't let time keep passing me by. Run down what I've always been chasing. Block out every fear I've been facing. All my wolves begin to howl. Wake me up, the time is now. Can you hear the drumming? There's a revolution coming. Wild things that turn me on, drag my dark into the dawn. Can you hear the drumming?
the bottom. Can't hold me down, hold me down. I'm rising up from the ground, from the bottom. Can't hold me down, hold me down, hold me down. All my wolves begin to howl, wake me up, the time is now. Can you hear the drum hit? There's a revolution coming. Wild things that turn me on, drag my dog into the dark. Can you hear the drum hit? There's a revolution coming. There's a revolution coming. There's a revolution coming. Can you hear the drum hit? There's a revolution coming. There's a revolution coming. There's a revolution coming. Can you hear the drum hit? There's a revolution coming. willow, it weeps today. A breeze from the distance is calling your name. Unfurl your black wings and wait. Across the horizon, it's coming to sweep you away. It's coming to sweep you fragile cannot endure the wrecked and the jaded, a place so impure. The static of this cruel world caused some birds to fly long before they've seen their day. Long before they've seen their Let the wind carry you home. Bird, fly away. May you never
Is everybody worried that no one really cares? See, I'm afraid to love, but afraid to be alone. Still I wonder why my heart is always broke. What a way to live with the fear and take all control. But this ain't life, no, I'm not alive. Are we all the same? Looking for love, looking for love. Are we all in chains, trying to be enough, be I'm trying to write my perfect story. I'm working nights and working days to prove the world that I am worthy of being seen, of being praised. 'Cause I'm afraid to show them people who I am. I'm not special, I'm just a simple broken man. So I will hide my face with my picture perfect mask. Oh, this ain't life, no, it's just a lie. Are we all the same? Looking for love, looking for love. Are we all in chains, trying to be enough, be enough?
Watch that old fire as it flickers and dies. The once blessed the household and lit up our lives. It shone for the friends and the clinking of glasses. I'll tend to the flame, you can worship the ashes. Capture the wild things and bring them in line, and own what was never your right to confine. The lives and the loves and the songs are what matters. I'll tend to the flame, you can worship the ashes. Do you feel heavy, your eyes drop with grief? Your spirit is wild and your suffering is brief. So never you buckle and bend to the masses. I'll tend to the flame, you can worship the ashes. Get round a fire with a glass of strong ale, and tell us a story from beyond the pale. Bury some seeds and expect some strong branches. I'll tend to the flame, you can worship the ashes. Now show me a man that can meet all his needs. For what we need most now is unity's seed. A common old song for all creeds and all classes. I'll tend to the flame, you can worship the ashes. I'll tend to the flame. What will we do when the world it is ending, and time it is halted for friend and for foe? Try to hold on to the time as it passes. I'll tend to the flame, you can worship the ashes. I'll tend to the flame, you can worship the ashes. I'll tend to the flame, you can worship the ashes.
It's like I have this tunnel vision, never stops. It's rising inside me.
I'm crawling over daggers till I reach the top, chasing the lightning. I know we want the same thing. You're gonna have to face me.
It's like I have this tunnel vision, never stops. It never stops. Powerful. Know it when you taste it. Nobody can take it. Powerful. It's running through our veins. We're common guns blazing. Powerful. We're powerful. I need it, gotta have it like an animal. This craving is raging.
This hunger got me feeling so invincible. No breaking till I make it. You wanna play the same game. You don't know what you're asking.
Powerful. Know it when you taste it. Nobody can take it. Powerful. It's running through our veins. We're common guns blazing. Powerful. We're powerful. I know we want the same thing. You're gonna have to face me. Powerful. Know it when you taste it. Nobody can take it. Powerful. It's running through our veins. We're common guns blazing. Powerful. We're powerful. We are powerful. We're powerful. We are.
Oh, we're powerful. Look at what you've done. Is this what you call glory? Do you? Bastion of sanctuary, this is the day that everything will fall. A look of fear caught in the lightning. Your judgment day is coming once and for all. An anthem of death sings out a cry, a whispering voice invading your mind. You're stuck in the web and caught in the lie, all corrupted, so corrupted. Uncertain fate and doubt in your eyes. Can you escape? Who will survive? No way to remain with all of your lives. Is this justice? This is justice. Last defender, no surrender. Raise your shield and cry for help. But no one is coming. No one is coming. Walk through fire and straight into hell. Your doomsday is calling. Your doomsday is calling. Betrayal breeds revenge. You sought out your own end. This is what happens when you turn your back on a friend. Waste your last amends. You've spent your life condemned. Condemned to your cursed doomsday. A countdown to revolution. Thrown to the wolves and watch your hope dissolve. Watch it dissolve. The crows are calling for disaster. A twisted happy ever after to behold. flashing as hell rains from the skies. An angel of death standing on high, a warrior beneath in the enemy lines. You were once trusted, once trusted. You're all out of luck and all out of time, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. So lift up your head and face your demise. Is this justice? This is justice. Last defender, no surrender. Raise your shield and cry for help, but no one is coming. No, no one is coming. Walk through fire and straight into hell. Your doomsday is calling. Your doomsday is calling. Betrayal breeds revenge. You sought out your own end. This is what happens when you turn your back on a friend. Waste your last amends. You've spent your life condemned, condemned to your cursed doomsday. I will tell your story. All of the grief and all the glory. The tales from within these pages, they come and they go in stages. Now all that will remain are stories of joy and pain. So look up at the sky and keep it all inside. It's time to say goodbye. The tears will come, but don't you cry. Tell myself I'll be okay, even if it's all a lie. And it's another friend of mine that's gone. Another friend won't see the dawn. Stuck in between what I love and what I've lost. Everything I've lost. I will tell your story. All of the grief and all the glory. I come from another lifetime to carry these worlds in my mind. This burden's mine to bear, but don't give in to despair. So look up at the sky and keep it all inside. It's time to say goodbye. The tears will come, but don't you cry. Tell myself I'll be okay, even if it's all a lie. And it's another friend of mine that's gone. Another friend won't see the dawn. Stuck in between what I love and what I've lost. Everything I've lost. I will tell your story. All of your grief and all your glory.
So how long were you numb? 'Cause it was cold as ice, and I keep
saying that I'm okay with it, but that's another lie. The truth is I've been dying slowly, but no, not you. You just turn to drift into the night. A parting scene of apathy, an instant shift to a stone heart paired with empty eyes that stared right through mine. I did the math, but it just don't add up. There's a whole world that used to be us. Now there's an echo calling me, just a shred of memory. Emptiness, but there's still a shadow. I catch a glimpse of someone I should know. How to tell if you were ever here. I disappear, disappear. I disappear, disappear. All is lost, slipped away, gone without a trace. I sometimes wonder if it was real, because all that's left seems fake. Like I'm trapped within the wrong dimension. I tried so hard just to make you feel my pain. If you had empathy, you'd see I changed. But like a ghost in your presence, I dissipate. I tried it all, it's all in vain. Did the math, but it just don't add up. There's a whole world that used to be us. Now there's an echo calling me, just a shred of memory. Emptiness, but there's still a shadow. I catch a glimpse of someone I should know. How to tell if you were ever here. Disappear, disappear. Disappear, disappear. Sometimes I still slip and start to question if it was only in my mind. It's hard to come to grips that you still exist when it feels just like you died. So come on and on, stop by nothing now. Perform a trick before your eyes. Eyes operate, go without a trace. Off the radar, out of sight. I did the math, but it just don't add up. There's a whole world that used to be us. Now there's an echo calling me, just a shred of memory. Emptiness, but there's still a shadow. I catch a glimpse of someone I should know. How to tell if you were ever here. Disappear, disappear. Disappear, disappear.
I'm standing right here, eyes peer with my mind clear. Never look rear, only up, never down. Off the ground till I'm found. Hear the sound, listen to me now. As the beat pounds, every ounce of my effort pouring out. So you never have a doubt, do you like me now? Am I good enough now? Should I get more loud till you hear the fucking sound? Oh no, I'm losing my shit again, having to fit again. Man, I'm forgetting when I used to have some friends. I used to play pretend, we all grow up and then hating my phone and trends. I'm about to blow my head, nobody knows I'm dead. Fear I'm a ghost instead, think that I'm close. I get straight comatose in bed, try to go slow with breath, breathe out my nose and head. Heart doesn't go the trend, faster it goes instead. One shot, that's all you got, take it right now, before you get lost, yeah. One shot, that's all you got, write your own story, you control the plot, yeah. One shot, that's all you got, could drop dead now of a fucking blood clot, yeah. One shot, give it all you got, and never back down, no I'm never gonna stop, yeah. One shot, that's all you got, take it right now, before you get lost, yeah. One shot, that's all you got, write your own story, you control the plot, yeah. One shot, that's all you got, could drop dead now of a fucking blood clot, yeah. One shot, give it all you got, and never back down, no I'm never gonna stop, yeah. I know that I'm a little OCD, the people close to me already know that's me. That's how it's supposed to be, cause nobody's perfect. You need something to work towards, that's worth it. You need something that's worth more, you deserve it. Find a thing that you love, then preserve it. If you're heading down the wrong path, then reverse it. Put your head down and damn it, start working, cause we all need a little bit of hope to help us cope as we go down this road on our own, never knowing where it goes. Always wonder if we're close, always wonder if we chose the right fork in the road. Who knows? You don't, I don't, is everybody stoned? I groan, cause I'm sick of mediocrity. Where's the quality? Everything's about quantity. Ironically, we feed our minds constantly, but don't think logically. One shot, that's all you got, take it right now, before you get lost, yeah. One shot, that's all you got, write your own story, you control the plot, yeah. One shot, that's all you got, could drop dead now of a fucking blood clot, yeah. One shot, give it all you got, and never back down, no I'm never gonna stop, yeah. One shot, that's all you got, take it right now, before you get lost, yeah. One shot, that's all you got, write your own story, you control the plot, yeah. One shot, that's all you got, could drop dead now of a fucking blood clot, yeah. One shot, give it all you got, and never back down, no I'm never gonna stop, yeah.